You're now watching Creators on the Come Up, hosted by yours truly, Eliseo Way. Creators on the Come Up.
Without further ado,
Let's go.
how you doing, man? I was just muted that quick, man. Just crazy. But without further ado,
I'm doing
man,
good. I'm pumped to be here.
and that's what's up, man. I'm pumped to have you here, man. Super excited to have you here. Just really quick, man. The comments are going crazy tonight, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Like I said, my crowd, they love everything you're doing, so they were really hyped to have you on this show tonight, man. And I know last time you had some engagement things going on, so safe travels. Everything worked out cool, man. So we're glad to have you here now, man. Let me go ahead and go to the scene now, man. So yeah, if you don't know who Omar is, then I'm gonna let him introduce himself in his own words. But how I came across him, how he came on my radar, of course, as we start getting into, our YouTube journey, he's a part of the Think Media team, and they are, I want to say they're kind of like a staple. They're like a pillar in the YouTube community. I mean, to be honest with you, maybe that might be me fanboying a little bit. I don't know, but I just truly feel like they are like a go-to channel for all things like camera. It's funny because when he got on, he was like, he was giving me a shout out for my camera quality. He was like, I'm like, bro, I learned from you. I learned this from you. So, but shout out to them. I'm actually using the Canon M50, the first Canon M50 that came out like 3 or 4 years ago, but I'm using the Sigma 16 millimeter lens. All these I've learned from watching Think Media and a couple other channels. So without me over talking, I want to give him a chance to introduce himself in his own words and let y'all know who he is and what he does. Go ahead, Omar.
Hey everyone, I'm pumped to be here. I'm glad, I guess I'm considered a creator on the come up. It's kind of weird because you don't think of yourself, when you step into the idea of creating content, and obviously you just get classified as such. And 100% I am a creator. And so a little bit about myself. Currently I am one of the content creators at Think Media. And Think Media, we are a company that started as a YouTube channel. That our CEO, Sean Cannell, a lot of people, obviously know who he is, but we are really out to help as many people as we can, specifically 10,000 purpose-driven entrepreneurs build a part-time or full-time income using YouTube. And I think one thing that's cool about that is it is like our North Star. And I know that, we are helping as much people as we can at so many different levels, and some as much as like you watched one Think Media video that helped you take one step toward, creating content. And we really tried to dial in on specifically the platform of YouTube, even though there are incredible other ways to get yourself out there. But yeah, so, we're made up, we are now like about 12 to 14 staff or employees at Think Media. And more than trying to be a high profitable internet networking marketing, agency, I guess you could say what we are, we really are trying to use our profits and put it back into the community and put it back into scaling and things like that. And so, we have a handful of content creators. We also have customer service. We have, we just brought on a thumbnails guy, and we have multiple editors. And so we really want to take over this space to help as much people as we can. And in the world of wrong information, or in the world of, I would say greed, there are many people that have the resources to be able to, take their mark. And we just want to be a good voice, a good light. I spend my time outside of Think Media running my own personal done for you agency locally in Las Vegas. That's where I reside, and specifically helping with client, editing and kind of production and little things like that. And then thirdly, I'm pretty involved in my local church. Me and my wife helped start a church about 3 years ago, City Light Las Vegas, and it's been incredible to see over 1,000 people come through the doors, and me and her help oversee the small groups. And then just, any way I can help, and kind of been able to be blessed to be able to share on the weekends too. And so, pretty multifaceted, I guess you can say, but my journey started in high school. I always attribute everything to the ability to take an elective and then if you enjoy it, to take it again and again. And that for me, that was broadcast journalism.
Wow.
So, at it 15 years ago, I was exposed to Adobe Premiere Pro. At the time, you would capture on a tape camcorder, and then you would, capture it. You would minute for minute, you would have to capture it. Now you just got to drag an SD card and it's nice, or even AirDrop, right? If you're using your smartphone, but that was kind of the flow. And I really enjoyed the process of it. And little did I know that I would have just stuck with it. I would have went to college for journalism and media studies. And then I would find myself at a church, and I got radically saved. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. But I got saved at a pretty relevant church.
Tell them what it means, Omar. Tell them.
It means that I didn't know who God was. And then I just made a decision at one point in my life that I'm going to walk that journey and figure out through relationship with God through Jesus Christ that I would know who he is. And so that was revealing. And then because I was, it was a very relevant church at the time, and they still are relevant. I'm not saying that they've lost their relevancy, but they were really big on what up, Diana? That's my girl.
Queen D in the building. What's up? Queen D?
And and so I got involved, and they were big on making promo videos and doing fun things, conference promos and things like that. And the funny thing is, at that time, Sean Cannell was the marketing director at that church.
Wow.
And so I kind of just started serving under him, and we developed a really cool dynamic of a relationship. And once I graduated college, I was brought on staff, and I would say those were transformative years as far as my skill level and my leadership and things like that. And that's how I grew. And I would think into a whole nother level of I need to be a teacher, there's so many people that need to learn how to do these things that I've been so fortunate to be, exposed to when I was younger.
Wow.
And then, fast forward, things just happened. Sean ended up starting his YouTube channel, and really early on, brought me on, and we slowly but surely were able to build. Heather Torres came in the mix, really made it a business, and took our creative craziness and said, hey, let's dial it in. And now we're sitting at 14 and constantly hiring more and more people to join the team to really do what we can to impact as much people as we can.
Wow.
My dude Tony in the house.
Tony, directed by Tony in the building. He's a director. I didn't even know he was a director. He's like a music.
Dude, he does shorts and they're legit, full on production.
Oh man.
So the team runs deep, as you can see, and we have a lot going on. I think one thing I'd love to just promote, is that next week we are doing a free 5-day YouTube challenge. And we're just going to be taking 5 days and teaching free on how you can take what take what you have, you would consider yourself potentially an expert in, or even not an expert, but you just know more than the average person, or you just enjoy whatever that is, and how you can use YouTube to get that out there and create some income for yourself. And you can jump into that free challenge today after this live stream at ytimpact.com. It's YT for YouTube, but ytimpact.com. But we just want to help as much as we can, and this is a free challenge, and so we'd love to have you in it. But that is myself. Hopefully I didn't, I guess I can say a lot more. I didn't even talk about my family. This dude is he's so self-absorbed. It's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I have a 2-year-old, a 2.5-year-old daughter named Ruby. I'm married to Amanda.
That's why you said that. You was like, I get it.
No, we had some kid troubles, and I was totally, I can totally relate. They're right now watching Frozen because she's right now on the Frozen tip right now. And so we're just feeding it. So but I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be here. I'm pumped to answer any question people have. I'm pumped to just talk through the even more deep on the journey of how things grew and all those things. But that is myself.
I'm giving you a forewarning that for some reason I have a fan right here. I have air conditioning on, but for some reason with the lights and stuff, I just bust out sweating. So I got a shirt today. I'm going to be
He's a preacher.
I'm prepared. I'm prepared. So you said a lot of stuff that I would love to get in and unpack. First of all, I put ytimpact.com right above your head. Is that the correct way to spell it?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
That's the URL to join the challenge.
Gotcha. So first things first, I did the challenge last year. It was actually super dope, super informative. So I'm pretty sure they're even going to pack more value in it this year. So definitely go to ytimpact.com. I'm sure do you guys still have a group and everything for it?
Yeah, we do a fresh group every time we run this. This is something we try to do quarterly, and so we don't just keep doing this. It's kind of just time we take to really focus in on a community of people that really want to learn the ins and outs.
Gotcha. Cool. So definitely hit up ytimpact.com. It's a great springboard, or even just a good refresher if you kind of get into the motion of things. Sometimes you just need to see different perspectives and whatnot. I know it helped me out a lot, man. And also, before we go any further, I got to give Sean Cannell and Benji a shout out because they are the authors of YouTube Secrets. I don't know if you guys heard of this book, but super informative. Definitely something that you guys should read up on and catch up on if you don't have it. So shout out to Sean Cannell and Benji for that book. So I think we got some great foundational stuff going. I want to kind of jump in and unpack some of the stuff you were talking about, because something that I didn't know, I guess it makes sense though. You said at 15 you were already doing like a lot of media type stuff, and like did you just kind of like gravitate toward that at such a young age, or was you just bored? I'm like, I gotta find something to do. Like, what was it that got you so interested at that young age?
At first it was like actual assignment because like our the broadcast journalism, you were put on a team, and on a weekly basis you would be responsible for doing news, like the morning announcements at the school. And when I was a freshman, I was really drawn to the idea of not necessarily being on camera, but like putting this thing together. And so I jumped in my sophomore year of high school.
Wow.
And at the time it wasn't live, but it was the morning of. And so you did have to come prepared with whatever ads you created or PSA, public service announcement videos, like don't, throw it in the trash, recycle. And we got this dance coming up, and like the basketball team is their final senior game. I don't know, like random stuff like that. But
yeah,
I was really drawn to like the commercials that they were able to make. And obviously I had no concept of anything until I actually joined that elective. And then in it, I think it was seeing the final product of things that really drew me to loving the process. Like, wow. Okay, how do I get to that end point, even though it's in my mind? And so when we would come up with funny skits or things like that, we would start with a meeting and we'd like just make it happen as high school kids. And I enjoyed it so much to the point I asked my mom if she could buy me a laptop. She got me like a Dell XPS at the time, and I convinced her to buy that laptop. And then I illegally downloaded Sony Vegas at the time, and so I couldn't get my hands on Premiere, even though at school I was using Premiere to edit a lot of this stuff. And then I ended up just buying a camera, and I started vlogging. So this is like 2007. I was just vlogging random times with my friends and hanging out and putting together things. And then I started bringing my camera to basketball games and putting together like mixtapes. And then as I grew up, I started getting, friends that were into rapping or making music. And so I'd make music videos, and all these little things are just like refining skills and things like that. But I didn't know I was literally going to just spend the rest of my life kind of doing this type of stuff. And then long story short, I just stuck with it. And so I like to tell a lot of people who think I'm gifted that it isn't gifting. It's really just sticking with it. Wow. Like I think most people, Jerry Seinfeld says we have a lack of greatness because we have a lack of focus. And we live in a world where we just try something and we move on to the next thing, trying something and then we move on to the next thing. Wow. I hope I'm this good 15 years later. And that it is okay if you are just starting something, but to know to just stick to that one thing. What is that skill? What is that thing that you are, comes naturally, and maybe it's not 100% natural at first, but that's why you stick with it, right? And you just grow, and then one day somebody's gonna think you're really gifted at something, and it was like, no, I think it just took time, and I think I just put in the hours, and then here I am, and so I think that about hip hop, man. I'm a lover of hip hop, and I've learned that it isn't quite necessarily skills that make it. No. The guys that have skills don't always make it. They were just the guys that just put in the work. And just because they put in the work, they got discovered. And because they got discovered, now they're making millions of dollars. They're not necessarily. I have friends that are more talented than them, but they don't put in the work. So all that to say, I think
That's
it's really
facts.
important that you just stick with it, you know?
Stick with it. Yeah. I mean, kind of like natural attrition. Like if you have, 100 people start off doing something, right? And 90 of them give up and you're in that last 10, there's a really high chance that you're going to make it. And even if you don't necessarily make it to the level you want to make it to, you're going to have some level of success that you can feel glad about, right? And fulfilled about. So I think that's super key. Just not giving up. I know it sounds like a very simple, trivial little concept, but it's just so huge. So I love that, what you said about that, man. So and so you meet Sean at church. He's the director of the. That's crazy, man. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people like, how did that come together? But I kind of had an idea it was through like church, because I follow your stories and stuff, and I see like you're like super huge. Is that the same church, by the way, that you and Sean go to? Or are y'all
Right. Yeah. City Light.
He's still, or he's at that church as well?
We're at the church that me and my wife were helped starting in, this was 2018 we launched. So this isn't the same church we worked at.
Gotcha.
This is now a new church that we started here, this part of town in Las Vegas. But yeah, all of us who live in Las Vegas on Think Media all attend City Light Vegas.
That's what's up. I mean, I be seeing the church services, y'all be turned up.
It's pretty dope. I mean, we try to put on a pretty dynamic service for people, and that we're passionate about relevancy and things like that. But and then also teaching God's word. So,
absolutely.
But it's cool. The community is awesome, and I think there is just something about our church where like there are a lot of like online entrepreneurs that have walked in the doors, and we've been able to connect. And it's crazy because, when 2011, that wasn't the case. Like you had like a brick and mortar business, and people knew of your hair salon or something like that. But like you can walk into a church and have like this huge online business, and nobody really know about it until you get to know somebody, and you're like, oh dang, you're low key killing it on e-commerce. I drop shipment. Dang, dude, you're on that side. So it's really cool. But yeah, I think a little bit of an unfair advantage is just how far back me and Sean go. Yeah. And so even our ability to have worked together early on, we probably just skipped a lot of things that most people get in the way of. If you're working with a contractor, if you're working with somebody you don't know like that, but I would consider him a big brother, at this point. And so I think that family dynamic
I have to call out how similar you guys, like, I don't know what it is. You guys kind of sound alike. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know.
It's like, it's called discipleship. Paul and Timothy, you know what I'm saying? You just catch it.
If I were to close my eyes and hear you talk, I'm like, who's talking right now? Like, that's what's funny. Up. That's dope, man. That's cool, man. So yeah, I think the chemistry is kind of like you think of like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. It's like that unfair like chemistry advantage. Like if they go wherever they go, they're gonna have like one up on the other team because it's like they're that gelled in together. So do you find that coming in really clutch for you and him? Like, man, I was thinking about the same thing, or I had this idea. I had the same idea. Like, do you find yourself kind of falling in the same vein a lot with your ideas and stuff?
Oh no, I think 100% yes. Like we find ourselves on the same page, where the more deeper we are going with leadership and really growing, with Think Media growing as a company. What we find is are each other's strengths, though. Wow. And I would find our strengths are a little bit different in the sense that like Sean is a genius when it comes to titles and headlines and SEO and those things. And I have learned all that from him, especially going through, way back, 4 years ago, I went through Video Ranking Academy, which is our staple course that we offer. And I personally just, did what I knew from that course and on my personal channel. And I ended up growing without even trying, growing to like 10,000 subscribers in a year. And then now, I don't even put attention to it. And it's just constantly growing because of the things that we teach and it being applied. However, I think where my level of my strength comes in is kind of the on top of creativity side of things, like having a foot into, because I am so highly involved at my church, I have Gen Z friends, I have older guy friends, and just understanding this tension that we're managing, because making a YouTube video in 2021 is different than making that same video 3 years ago. Like attention spans are a lot shorter. And just being able to I mean, there's many times where we are always testing new ways and new ideas on how a video is conducted. And, like before, we used to tee up a video with like this super elongated intro that we would hope that whatever we were saying or showing you in that intro would compel you to stay for that video. And now we just start videos with like, yo, tip number 1 is to do this, this, and this. Boom, intro. All right, tip number 2 is this, this, and this. Like we just understand kind of the world. And I think that's the cool thing that we have going on. And obviously it's a team effort now too. And there's a dynamic. Heather adds in as the operations officer. And just as a team dynamic. And so, yeah, I 100% would say I've picked up so many things from Sean. His genius is his genius. And the more time we've only spent together, I'm finding like, dude, I don't know if I'll ever be that smart, like,
man,
it's just the reality.
Nah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I see you guys a lot of times go play golf and stuff like that. So, man, that's crazy. Like, are you guys any good?
I'm addicted. But I don't know. I'm finding that that bar of being good is it's a thin line. I mean, because I broke 100 the other day. I don't know if people know what that means, but I broke 100 and I've been doing that consistently. And apparently that's a good thing. And that now I fall into like the 15 percentile of like recreational golfers. And I just started 3 months ago.
Wow.
So all that to say, I think we're all right. And when I saw Omar working in a church, that solidified my fandom. That's funny.
That's
dude, I love the local church, man. I let me just say something real quick. If you want to get consistent, hands-on training in the realm of video, media, social, whatever, I don't think there's any other place on a consistent basis that you can do it for free than the local church. It's going to come around every Sunday. If you learn something on Wednesday, you can apply it on Sunday. If you learn something on Sunday, you can apply it the next Sunday.
Wow.
And honestly, I try to think, and we live in Las Vegas, like you can pay thousands of dollars to work at Cirque du Soleil or, take an internship at something like that.
Yeah.
But something about the local church that just provides that space and place to sharpen your skills. I genuinely believe there's no other place like it. And, I think
that's crazy.
God bless you for it.
No, I know for a fact that you are telling the truth. Actually, Walter Jeanette, he is like the media guy of his church. He's a super dope YouTuber as well. And it just kind of all works together. You know what I'm saying? Like, like just that practice, right? And that persistence of doing what you have to do for church, it absolutely translates over into your YouTube channel and really other areas of your life, to be honest with you.
For sure.
I know I'm the media guy for my church as well. So we've all had to come home. Well, and since then, pandemic, we had to come home and stream from home. So I've set, them up with live streaming from home and everything. So, wow, man. Shout out to DJ Strick in the building. Y'all got to check out the stream show every Sunday with DJ Strick and Brant. He said, we'll get to see the Think Media Pro Church Tools collab.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, what's crazy is Brady from Pro Church Tools has been, he was somebody who watched Sean and took a little bit of what he was teaching back in 2016 and has applied it to what he's been doing. And dude, he's an incredible entrepreneur helping tons and tons of churches. But for sure, I think so. I think in the future, I would say that Think Media will have its place in helping the local church at a more specific level. Obviously, seeing how that actually pans out. But the heart of Think Media is to help the local church. And so whether that's financially and as far as resources go, we try our best to kind of like weave in stuff, like occasionally that pertain just to churches. But the hope is that you would find us if you work at a church, and that has happened a ton of times. And that our content would currently right now be able to help you.
I love, even though I know how deep you guys are in the church and how serious you are about it, I love, though, how Sean and you guys are very strategic with not like being over churchy, in the marketplace. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I heard Sean talk about that. Like, yo, we're here to work. Like, we're here to get it in. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, content creators, especially that are like believers, they have a hard time with that. Like, okay, do I need to be talking about Jesus right now, or do I need to be talking about cameras? It's like, So I think you guys have mastered that skill set of being believers in the marketplace. How does that, what does that look like? I guess in the meetings and stuff, like, I mean, is there still like a pray before the meetings type deal, or is
Dude,
it
great.
just
Yeah, I mean,
strictly business?
yeah,
Or
I would say we hire we hire based on competency. You know,
oh
if you
wow,
can do a job, it's not it that we don't, you know, just hire Christians or something like that. However, Think Media is ran as a Christian valued organization. Our values stem from the Bible, and Proverbs, and we operate in wisdom.
wow,
And I think that's just something people have to deal with them within themselves. If whatever you're tapping into, are you going to be, and the word is overt, you know, are you going to be overtly Christian? Are people going to know that they know you are a Christian doing this kind of content? Or, you know, I think of it like rappers, like there are Christian rappers and there are rappers who are Christian, and there is a difference. And so what we've learned is the way that we can get into somebody's, I guess you could say, heart, is by helping them with their direct need. And I think that's even a biblical model, is like,
wow,
what are the needs? Can we fulfill those needs and help those needs? And when the time is right. And so I think there is discernment there. And as far as, like, to answer your question with like Zoom meetings and stuff, like when we have events, we'll have an allocated time and invite anyone who would want to be on a call where we will pray specifically for like a live event, like Grow with Video Live. We totally have prayer times. And when our theme of the year is derived from a verse that Sean felt would be the theme of the year for Think Media, which is in Ecclesiastes, it's like sharpen your axe so you don't have to do as much work. And so we can create margin so we can do the things that we really want to do.
Wow.
And like I said, back to time and place. Last year at Grow with Video Live, we had a special session. It was like, if it was before all the main sessions, and we considered it a bonus session. And if you wanted to be at it, you'll be inspired. And that was kind of like the way we led by it. And then we actually had our pastor share a word that was awesome. He spoke on, you know, how important it is that you sow seed, and in the form of whatever that is for you. It was an incredible message that would speak so straight to an entrepreneur. And then at the end, I came up and I did an altar call, and 65 people texted in and said, I'm deciding to follow Jesus. And not too many people know that, but and then we were able to resource those people, and it's been cool. I mean, I love it. You know, like, honestly, what's the ultimate thing we're trying to do here? And so, yeah,
can we
time and place.
65 souls, man. Yeah, see,
at a video marketing conference.
I know, right? Can we? Yeah, see, I'll go all the way in right now. So let's bring it back. But I will say that is awesome. Keep that going, man. Time is actually flying. We're actually halfway done with the show. I definitely wanted to kind of jump in and kind of talk to you real quick, just to kind of get like a sense of, I always like wanted to know, like, what is like a typical like day or week for Think Media as far as like productivity? Do you have like it laid out? Okay, this is the content map for this week, and we have to get this done. Like, and like, what is your specific role in that as far as like how you guys release content and stuff?
Dude, it's crazy. I wake up in the morning, I shoot videos, and then they get posted. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what we do. I wish that was the case, right? I wish I would just wake up and be able to think of a video. Okay, so the way we, like, yes, our business definitely has a structure, in the sense of, like, number one, meetings. Like, we meet 3 times a week, and we sync up 3 times a week in regards to all departments kind of just syncing up. Once every, you know, let's say month and a half or so, we will do what we call a content camp, where it's content creators, like people that will be creating the content. And we do try to plan as far ahead videos at that point to 2-3 months down the road. We try to get our title right. We try to get our thumbnail inspiration at that moment. And then it's like off to the races kind of type thing. But we moved from about 2-3 videos a week last year in quarantine to now 5 videos a week. Did I say a year? A week? So it was 2 to 3 videos a week, and then we moved to 5 videos a week with Think Marketing or Think Media podcast, which is its own upload and it has its own kind of like, you know, repurpose and use. And so we didn't want to like bring down on or lose quality in that. And so how do we keep high quality, you know, videos on on our channel and that still educate and help as much as possible, or we bring on people. And so like Nolan has been a huge help. So Nolan throws in the can, we call it in the can, 2 videos a week. And so myself too, I have to throw in 2 videos a week. And so come hell or high water, by Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, there are a total of 4 videos that get uploaded per Omar and Nolan. And then we have Kyle, who also is our lead editor, Kyle Anderson, who is repurposing videos. So we have a whole flow of repurposed live streams we do. And so those videos, whoever's doing the live stream, whether it's Heather, whether it's Sean, go into that live stream knowing that a moment in that live stream will be repurposed on Think Media or be condensed as a and then we call that chopping the chicken. And that the reason we call it chopping the chicken is because Damon John from Shark Tank mentioned that when you go to a grocery store, there's like levels of chicken. They use many times the same chicken. In the front, it's the rotisserie. It's the freshest you can get it. And then as you move back, then it's made into certain things. And then, you can go to the actual deli counter and they made chicken salad and they also got like the chicken curry and honestly, it's the same chicken. They're just repurposing it in different places. And so we're fans of that. We really do think that every time we put out a video, not everybody saw it and not everybody saw it that needed to see it. And so, and also the game we play is a little bit different. We're trying to post videos. Somebody asked us in our comments earlier today. I saw it and he said, I don't get it. You guys have millions of subscribers, but you don't get that many views on your videos. And I responded that like, we're playing a different game. The game we're playing is the long game of YouTube. We are creating videos that rank in search, that one day somebody else will find it. And so you may find me tomorrow on a video because you're looking to set up your podcast. And then tomorrow Nolan drops, after you subscribed, a Final Cut Pro editing software tutorial. And that might not pertain to you, but that's going to pertain to somebody else. But you create a library of thousands of videos that is that kind of architect, and before you know it, you have a library of videos that are constantly getting searched. I think a lot of current creators are at the mercy of them posting videos every single day. And we can ghost town for a month or 2 or a year and our channel would still thrive because we have created a library of searchable content. And so that's kind of the vibe. And so I think a good example is like this new Rode mic I've been using. This is the Rode NT USB, right? What one would think to do is make a video called Rode NT USB mini mic, USB mic review, right? I think that's what like a lot of people who would make a review on this mic. Our approach to reviewing a mic like this is like, okay, it's under $99. There's more people searching best mic under $100 than people are searching this mic because they don't know this mic yet. And so how am I framing the video around this review? Is it a Rode NT USB review? Yes. But however people are going to find this mic, they're going to find it because they're searching for the best mic under $100. And so that's just like kind of an insight to like the depth we try to go in. And so we don't try to play the games that every other, content creator is playing. I think, there's those days where they're like media release days and like everybody's talking about the drone at one time or the lens or what have you. And I think that is cool because you're hopping on a trend and we teach that. But I think it's not sustainable in the sense of like, it's not the wisest thing because you want people to find your video. And if you drop it in the heat of competition and you don't find your, way through, then you might not be discovered. And we're just big on discoverability. And that's kind of the flow. Kind of went a little bit deep there, but
that was excellent. I mean, I love just that whole concept of like, everybody would be like the name of the mic, but what was really more deeper is how many people are looking for the affordable mic under $100, which is probably in the rankings. We already know in the rankings which one is going to beat out the other one. I mean, maybe one may spike in the while it's dropping and it's fresh, but in the long game, you already know which one is going to win.
Right. And I think just knowing what game you're playing is just very important when it comes to YouTube. Like, are you going for the reaction thing? Are you going for the vlogs thing? Like, really, and that'll help your day to day. I mean, we're about building a smart kind of business model where it just will eventually work for itself. We like to think of every video being an employee now going to work and going and showing flyers to everybody. And it's just a different way to think about it. You know, I think it just helps us create in a secure place. It's like, no, this video is going to be okay. And then you look back on it and you're like, tight, this video is crushing. YouTube's favoring this video and they're suggesting this video because people are finding it and they're liking it.
Man. Woo. Man, this is good. I want to give a shout out to my boy Walter Jeanette. He said that's the exposure triangle, man. I think I want to try something. I don't know who is on, because what we used to do, bro, I used to go into a clubhouse room after this, but I kind of stopped that because, man, I'd be tired. I ain't gonna lie. But what I would love to do is, I don't know if Walter is on his setup or Diana is on her setup, but if anybody's on your setup and y'all want to jump on the stream with me and Omar,
come on.
He's like, ooh, come on. So my link is very simple. I'll go ahead and put it in here. It's just EliseoWay.com. Hold on, EliseoWay.com/live stream. And I'm going to put this on the screen. If y'all are on y'all setup and want to jump on with me and Omar, you got to be on your setup. I don't want you like your cell phone and you're walking down the street walking your dog. Like
get real awkward real quick.
You know what I'm saying? If you're on your setup, you want to chop it up with me and Omar. I would love for Walter to come on though, because he's a believer too, man. But he did a live stream yesterday and he like, bro, this analogy he used was sick. He's like the exposure triangle, like, you know, with cameras, the ISO, the exposure and the shutter speed. He compared that to the Holy Trinity. Like, bro, it was sick, dog. Like, so yeah, if he could come on, man, and kind of share that with us, I think that'd be super dope. So anyways, so that is the link up, EliseoWay.com/live stream. Jump on if you want. We're only going for another 20 minutes. Time usually does fly, man. But until then, so I heard you say you have your own channel. Was that, what is your channel called? I didn't even know that. That's new to me.
Yeah, it's just my name. It's just Omar El-Takrori. It's always been experimental. I think after I kind of learned the ways of title and tagging and things like that, and I just tried to put it to use as best as I can. And so when I initially started helping Sean with Think Media, it wasn't like this full time or even part time. I mean, it was like we would shoot 6 to 8 videos, and then I wouldn't see him for 3 weeks because those would be ample enough to release. And that was kind of the flow we were on, batching, right?
Yeah.
So I would, if I had a photo shoot or if I was, doing something that I think would turn into a good tutorial, I would throw it up there. And so I had my wife film me on a couple of photo shoots, and those videos just started crushing. And then so I was like, man, I should make some presets. And then I made a video on presets, and that did really well. And it kind of just evolved. And I think I am trying to find like that place. If I could just be like straight up, like I genuinely don't know what my channel is about. There are photography tutorials on it. I spend my time making videos on Think Media to help people grow their YouTube channels. But I don't know, I guess some insight I can let you in on is I do feel a mandate to help the church at a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And I see the void. Last year was the most revealing year for it because I spent hours and hours and hours with youth pastors, with lead pastors, with media people, with like not knowing what to do. And I just learned that there's nobody helping the church content creator. And I don't think it's production help. You don't need help with your production. You need help with your presence online. Wow. And so I think
he said you don't need help with your production. You need help with your presence. Man, oh my Lord.
Double entendre,
he got bars.
As Will Smith would say. But yeah, I definitely think there's some room to help churches Monday through Saturday and how they use a Sunday. Let's go, Diana.
Brother, good to see you, man. Hey, y'all killing it. Y'all killing it.
Man, it's always a pleasure to have Queen D on the stream. She's taught me, but I think between Think Media and Diana, you guys probably taught me most of everything I know. And we have the brother Walt Dog in the
Walt Dog.
Somebody call my mama and tell him I'm on the stream with Diana and Omar real quick. For real.
Oh, man. So if you don't know who Diana is, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick. Queen D, and Walt, do the same after her.
Well, first of all, Eliseo, always appreciate you, brother, and everything that you do and bring to the table. My name is Diana Gladney, created out of St. Louis, Missouri, helping entrepreneurs simplify the video creation process. And that's it.
Well, dog.
All right. My name is Walter Jeanette. I'm currently located in the RTP area of North Carolina, but I hail from a little town called Washington, North Carolina, the original Washington. And my goal is simple, create, inspire, and solve. And it just simply revolves around helping you create build a better brand, grow your business, and help you create a community around the things you're most passionate about. And I'm a real fanboy right now. So I appreciate you, Eliseo. And shout out to Omar and the Think Media team. I'm kind of gigging out right now.
See what's up.
Love it, man. Yeah, y'all. So y'all see my clock on there. Y'all know I don't.
No,
play.
listen, it won't be long before you, but never promise, Fred. Here we go.
It was.
We won't do you like we did Kirk.
It was such a perfect timing. Like y'all jumped on right at quarter till. So I'm like, let me put this clock up. I always like to be super respectful of my guest time. We got Omar on. He's such a pillar, like I said, with him and Think Media in the content creation space. Diana Gladney, you already know you a GOAT, you know what I'm saying? And we got a young Billy GOAT coming up in the game, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Walter, listen, if anybody is curious on thumbnail theory, Walter is legit in the game. Walter, you're doing a fantastic job, brother.
I appreciate it.
That's what's up.
I appreciate it.
Do any of you two got a question or a comment or remark for the brother Omar?
Omar, no, I follow his stuff like a kid in a candy store. So, I've always been a student of Omar long before like he even became a presence like on the Think Media channel, just because it's like you always see somebody, a servant when you see them. Yeah. Because they're not saying anything, but they're always like serving. Yeah. And so like I've always seen like Omar in service to others and in service to the channel and the content. And so I'm just super pumped for everything that he's doing and just the incredible leader that he is. Incredible man of God and just the father and just the leader that he is. He's an incredible leader. So I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Dan. I love you. No, dude, like legit. You know what's funny about like in a crazy way, like my watch time allegiance on Instagram is to everything Diana puts out. I'm not even kidding. Like it's the way you go about showing off whatever you get. Yeah. And then even like the way you communicate the simplicity, like the fact that you obviously what you're supposed to do in one line and you say it and you're done and you're clear. Yeah. But it's literally, I'm like, there is probably a handful of videos that were a direct result of something I saw you do. Absolutely. I'm like, you are 100% like paving the way to help people. I think even the gifting is even more simple than what I'm even able to do. Like straight up, like we consider every time we come up with video ideas, usually we run it through this lens called Heather, like
the Heather filter.
Will Heather understand what this means? And a lot of times she says no, because that's just the reality. And sometimes I'm like, Heather, you need to learn this term. Like if you're going to be in video, you're going to learn this. And then, this back and forth. But like legit, like Diana is always on the lookout for the people that need to create content. Wow. And they just don't know where to even start. I legit did not know about the A6100 until Diana posted about it.
And I have
that camera came under the radar.
Thanks to her, I now have one. So yes, absolutely. That's crazy, man.
Shout out to Diana.
What do you got to say to that, Diana? And don't be bringing the feels on my stream. Don't be bringing the feels.
Where's your sister at when we need her?
Oh my God.
You know what? It's just like it's always about the iron sharpens iron. And so I'm just always like extremely grateful and like humble for every interaction that I have, because it's like, it's one thing to be led, but it's also the other thing to be like acknowledged as a leader, but also understanding like it's always just other levels, right? So it's like always like a learning, adapting, growing, implementing, learning, adapting, growing, implementing. So I'm honored and humbled, and I'm super appreciative.
That's crazy. Do you got
encouragement sesh 101? Let's go.
I know, right? You got any questions for Omar, Walt Dog? But what hold on. Before you even say that, before we get off the stream, bro, you got to break that triangle down, bro. Really? Bro, are you serious right here? Are you serious, bro?
I'll go ahead.
Woo.
Go ahead
with your question. Okay.
I was just gonna say similar to Diana, and like, I've had conversations and talked about this. Like, Diana is that person that's gonna get your whole life together. You know what I'm saying? If you slipping, if you slacking, it's like, nah, you gonna come correct. So a lot of people owe her probably some consultation money that she ain't got yet. Because she's giving out game and some whoopings for free. But like Omar and the Think Media team, man, it's been so dope just kind of watching them from afar. Because like working in ministry can be the greatest thing in your life, and it can also be like the most challenging thing. And so I went through like this transition, over like the last 4 years, and I was like, bro, I'm so done with church. Like I am so over this, yo. And literally, like I knew like the Think Media team like worked in the church sector, but I didn't know it was as heavily as it was until I started following Omar.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, that legit kind of gave me like the rejuvenation I needed to really buckle down and get back into that and really kind of understand like the point you brought up before about that floating between ministry and the marketplace, and how it's like, yo, you don't have to show and be like, hi, I'm selling cameras and I'm selling Jesus at the same time. It's like, no, just being your authentic self. They have been a real influence,
Yes.
100%.
and help and helping me, you know what I'm saying, kind of get back on my stuff. So
That's good.
Ministry and marketplace. Wow, that's huge, man. Yeah. So go ahead with this exposure triangle. You got to bless my stream with that, bro.
I'm gonna do it quick. Because you know what I'm saying. Kirk, I kind of set him up yesterday, but I was like, hey, that was your fault. But so now I was riding yesterday, and I had this conversation for the past couple of years about evangelism. So a lot of what we've been doing this year and closing out last year is talking about the post-pandemic church and kind of what that looks like. And as far as, with people, this whole social distancing thing, people coming back in the digital space, all of that. And so literally I got this revelation, about like the exposure triangle. And as far as, aperture, your shutter speed, and your ISO, and all of those things and how they're interconnected. And one thing affects the other, as we all know. Mm-hmm. And it was really to encourage those people who work in media, to help them understand that, your position is a lot more significant and more valuable than you think it is. And then also to encourage pastors and leaders that I know from a traditional model standpoint, we've always looked at the deacon and the elder and the trustee as your and the armor bearers as those people you keep close to you. But I'm like, in this climate, in this world we're in, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't bring those people, those creative people to the table, because they see things in a way that nobody else sees if they don't even realize it. Wow. So the first thing was about the aperture, and we get into this whole f-stop thing and all of that measurement of light, but just basically how, your aperture controlling how much light that you actually let inside the camera, that you let inside the lens, and that having a real bearing on your depth of field. So what I said on the video, I was like, are you shallow or are you deep when you come into contact with people and you're trying to witness to them? How do people see you? Are you a shallow person? Are you too deep? Are you, or have you perfected just being kind of middle ground? So then we go over to the shutter speed. When we talk about shutter speed controlling the length of time that's allowed, that it allows the light to hit that sensor. So do you actually stop? Do you make time for people, or are you always in a hurry to where you don't have any time? You have no time.
Hold them under that baptismal water, Walt. Give it to them. Come on now. Give it to them.
A lot of times in witnessing, we don't evangelize and we don't witness because we say, yo, I don't have the time. And shutter speed also has a huge bearing on the motion blur. So are you clear when you come across the people, or are you are you unstable and ambiguous and a double, are you double-minded? And then the last thing was ISO, which really is pretty much just, it's the sensitivity level. And so it's like, are you empathetic towards people? Because empathy, it doesn't solve anything, but what it does is it connects us, and it creates an opportunity for us to connect on a level that we never had an opportunity to do before. And I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this camera like, yo, there are 1,000 lessons that come from the thing we do every day. Wow. And I'm like, if I take those same things that I put into practice with live streaming, shooting videos and whatever, and if I apply that just in my daily walk, like it's impossible not for me to witness, evangelize, and help change somebody's life. And that was pretty much it.
Man,
that was pretty much it.
That's good. That's good. The doors of the church are now open.
That's manna.
That is fresh.
But I love that because it's so much about what he said that first of all, it's like going to the leaders. It's like after 2020, everything of what we do is different, and how we see and consume information and stuff like that is different.
Right.
So being able to take just that tangible, real life application of a video essence of, just the basics of a camera and applying that to ministry work, and just even like it's a lot about that is make you point back on. It's like, because it's so much like, well, those people over there and da 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 da. It's like, no, let's focus on the inside, right? It's like that sensor is the heart, more or less. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so there's so many things like that touches in that, but his perspective. And I've seen other stuff that Walt does, and for anybody that doesn't follow his content on his channel, he does produce some amazing stuff. So definitely check it out.
I think Walt, you just one video away from the algorithm. Just keep the party going, brother. Keep the party.
Bless up.
Man, I appreciate it. But y'all are like I said in my post yesterday. I stand on the shoulders of giants, and so y'all have paved the way in a way that's been like ridiculous. It's just our responsibility for those of us that are coming behind you to make sure we actually just do what's necessary and come behind you. You all have worked hard and paved and laid the foundation. It'd be a disservice to you to not, you know what I'm saying, carry that on and fulfill that legacy. So, man, someday somebody will come behind me and I have to do the same thing. So, yeah.
My bad, Omar. I just wanted you to hear that. I didn't mean to take no time.
No,
from
dude,
you,
that's
brother.
fire. I receive it.
I'm good. I'm good. You good.
Say, man, well, Omar gonna go to the Think Media meeting, man. Guess what, man? Listen, we got to get this triangle right, guys. Okay, we got to get this triangle right. That's what's up, man.
That's dope.
We have 3 minutes on the stream. I definitely wanted to let Omar get any closing remarks out, man. I mean, we honestly, bro, like I said before we even got on, I said I just like to have a free flowing conversation, so nothing really too deep or serious. Just kind of wanted to hear your heart. I learned a lot about you, just sharing your journey from high school and whatnot, and what you guys are doing. Like I've always said, you guys are just doing such a great work in the marketplace and in ministry. Just kind of wanted to let you have any final words before we close out the stream. Anything you guys are up to, or anything that you're up to particularly, or anything that you want to share with us.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to encourage those who I do believe that like everyone can have a place on YouTube, and it doesn't have to be the traditional route. And I think that's what's beautiful about it, is you're paving your own way. And I want to encourage you, like if you even pondered the idea to potentially do YouTube, that like, I know people are making money on YouTube. Just so you know, Sean went full time on YouTube with 15,000 subscribers.
Wow. Crazy.
And that's just because there are smart things you can do before and during when you're on your first go at YouTube that you can potentially create some margin and some profit. So maybe you can help with whatever it is you need extra on. Maybe these gas prices are tripping you out, and so you need a Tesla. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. But these gas prices are tripping. No, but for real, we got next week. It's our 5-day free challenge, and it's a private Facebook group, and we, the team's all in, hands in, helping people with their questions. But more than anything, you're going to get like the clarity you need to start YouTube, or even the clarity you need to, readjust your focus on YouTube if you've already posted a few videos here and there. And so Ytimpact is how you join the challenge. We used to make it 7 days. Legit, we were like hard in the paint, 7 days, 2 trainings a day. And we found that it was a ton. It was a lot for people, and people have lives. And so we just kind of pulled back a little bit, and we made it more concise. We made it more clear, and we'll be giving away a Canon M50. We're giving away YouTube studios throughout it, lights throughout it. Like there's a giveaway at almost every session. And so you want to join our free impact challenge. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate you following Think Media. We don't know everyone we're touching. We know that we're helping, people, and it's so helpful. We have this thread in our Slack that it's testimonials, and it's people who just DM us, out of the genuineness, overflow of their heart, and say, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know, I started, a podcast, and I found your setup, and I now I'm now paying my mortgage." And like we hear these stories all the time. Wow. But more than anything, I appreciate the community and all those that do watch our videos. and I'm glad that you like them, because you make those videos and you have those days and you're like, why am I making this video? And it's because of you, because you guys need the resource, and we want to be that resource and that help. And so grateful that you're a part of the Think community, and I'm grateful that you would have me on this podcast or this live stream today.
That's what's up. I think Diana done dropped out. She done dropped out. Okay, there she go.
I'm still here.
She froze. You froze on my end. I don't know.
Did it now?
Oh, okay. You good now? Don't give me no ammo for the Sonys now. Don't give me no ammo.
I did.
Oh my God.
So in full transparency, I'm having Cam Link technical difficulties.
Okay.
They sending me out one tomorrow for a replacement. So we'll see.
Dope. That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you, Omar. That was super dope. I always like to invite my guests back live on the show to put the pressure on you, because you can't tell me no in front of my community.
Down.
So sometime like next year or something, man, when you got some new stuff going on, I love to see you back on the show, man. And shout out to Walt Dog. I got to send you a shirt, Creators on the Come Up shirt, for jumping on with me, Walt Dog. I got your address, Omar, so I'll be sending you one of these Creators on the Come Up shirts.
Sick.
Did you get yours, sis? Did you get yours?
No.
Oh, man. Really?
It never came.
Oh, okay.
No, it really didn't.
Oh, okay. My bad. Well, I don't know. Maybe that was me. Maybe I dropped the ball. I don't know. So
No,
it's all good. It's all good, man.
I'll be sending all three of y'all the Creators on the Come Up shirt. Shout out to everybody for checking in the comments. I'm always elated when I can have three geniuses on my stream, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all for real. I'll definitely be following y'all, keeping y'all. If y'all are not following Walt Dog, Omar, or Diana, please go follow them on your on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the connects. So other than that, no, I think that's it. Did y'all have anything real quick, Diana or Walt? Y'all good?
No, man, just keep grinding it out. You know, I'm following your content. Eliseo, you're doing some amazing stuff. You really are. You really are.
Sir.
Don't start.
Yes, sir.
I could see she's going to try to bring,
That's all I was going to say. That's it.
Okay.
That was it.
That guy,
nothing else.
You that guy.
I appreciate it. Sometimes I don't be knowing little people be watching little old Eliseo out there. So I'm good. I'm good.
You done interviewed
Lord,
everybody.
That's what's up, man. Well, we're going to go ahead and stop the stream now. Thank y'all. Hey, next week we have Ruslan. Ruslan gained about 50 to 60,000 subscribers since like the pandemic started. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't know who if you don't, you know who Ruslan is, right, Omar? I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
Because he's cool with Sean.
Yeah, super weird connection, but it's small world. He attends the guy who told Sean to start making videos. He attends his church, and it's Rhythm Church in San Diego.
Wow.
His name is Jeff Moores, but yeah, Ruslan is doing really well on YouTube.
He we're gonna talk about it next week. I won't say he found a hack, but he figured out like how to supercharge the algorithm. And I know he told me, I talked to him the other day, he told me that him and Sean are gonna be partnering on a course about this whole thing. So
dude, it's unreal. He doesn't use editing software.
No, he uses Ecamm Live. I get to say that. Ecamm in the building. So yeah, I'm proud to say that I was a small part of helping him get on the Ecamm Live community. But so I'm just hyped about that. So next week, Ruslan will be on the show. Thanks again, Omar. Thanks, Diana. Thanks, my brother Walt Dog. And y'all can go ahead and disconnect, and we'll see y'all next week. I love y'all. Peace. Right,
Peace.
Go to my scenes here. All right, where we at?
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. Same time, same place. God bless. Be safe.